Now, with almost 16 out of the 34 towers said to be in a bad condition, living conditions going from bad to worse, debris lying all over the place, preparations with less than 10 days to go in tatters, the Prime Minister has now been forced to intervene to clear up the CWG mess. Now, the Prime Minister is holding a meeting with top CWG officials, but not Kalmadi, also senior ministers, including the Sports Minister M.S. Gill and of course the Urban Development Minister Jayapal Reddy are in attendance. Sources have also told NDTV Hindu that Mike Fennell has not been called for this meeting. The Prime Minister will not meet Mike Fennell. Prime Minister has intervened after things have got out of hand, putting India's reputation on the international stage at stake. Also, the treasurer of the organizing committee was apologetic as he answered the trail of questions posed to him by NDTV Hindu.
Is the entire setup for these games, whether the organizing committee, Government of Delhi, DDA, Sports Authority of India, CPWD,
right,
the NDMC, is the effort put in by all these agencies, is it negated by these incidents? I genuinely feel sorry for whatever has happened and would like to apologize not only on our part or part of the organizing committee, but everybody else connected. It is a collective, if these things have happened, these is a collective failure.
And also, External Affairs Minister S.M. Krishna, speaking to NDTV Hindu's Sarah Jacob in New York, assured that India will put on a good show when the time comes.
And Minister Krishna, you're here representing India, seen as a rising global economic power. But at the same time, today morning's headlines are about the lack of preparedness for the Commonwealth Games. Are you finding it difficult to keep a confident face here at the UN?
Well, I have assured all concerned that India will be able to deliver on the Commonwealth Games. The prolonged monsoon did create certain hurdles and did create some major problems. But the committee which under the Cabinet Secretary is supervising various aspects of the games, I'm sure that I spoke to the Cabinet Secretary this morning, and I have been assured by the Cabinet Secretary that things will fall in place and athletes will be happy and the games will certainly go on as planned and it will be very successful.
Well, also Commonwealth representatives of various countries like New Zealand, Australia and Canada have been crying foul. When NDTV, of course, went to check out why exactly such disgruntlement with the preparations of the Commonwealth Games, we came across something which is unthinkable. Not only are the quarters unlivable, they are so filthy that they are beyond description. Now, what you're going to see is going to shock you a bit. This, of course, is the Commonwealth Games village. On display are broken floors, dirty beds, some of whom trampled by dogs, and of course, dirty bathrooms, wash basins in the toilets which have been treated as spittoons. Look at that, all palm stains all over the place, dirty toilets which of course many of the foreign athletes have been complaining about. No cleanliness at all, no maintenance staff, even some of the ceilings, false ceilings coming off, a lot of work uncompleted, debris strewn all over the place, open electrical wires all over, water stagnating and everything of course in disarray. Now, MediScan Systems, a referral diagnostic ultrasound center, claims to have made a breakthrough in telesonography screening of pregnant women to correct defects in babies before they are born. Zoya Thomas sends us this report.
Nearly 30 million children are born in India every year and nearly 2 million of them have serious defects. Regular monitoring during pregnancy is critical to detect defects. Experts point out access to latest technology to pinpoint defects is widespread, but not the expertise. MediScan says its eye-to-eye software bridges that gap.
Ultrasound is available in a lot of places, but especially doing fetal scans. The expertise to interpret fetal images is not available throughout. Over a period of time, that doctor who is doing this imaging Because he's getting continuous inputs from the expert, he becomes an expert over a period of time. So this is actually empowerment.
The technology is simple and not too expensive. The ultrasound machine is connected to a computer that has a software called Sonocare. The software transfers fetal scan images to a fetal medicine specialist in another center who will give his expert opinion on the abnormalities. The images can be accessed on an iPhone or an iPad as well.
Here the affordability is so low, it will not even come into the picture. The incremental cost that will come into the whole system is just negligible. I'll tell you, just to give you an example, typically even in a government hospital, today about 2,000 to 5,000 rupees is spent for a delivery. That's the average cost of a government hospital delivery. And this will be sub 100 rupees. So this will be a couple of tens that will add up to the total cost per patient over a period of cycle. And that's quite negligible compared to the benefit that offers.
There's new hope that the software will help pregnant women to detect defects in babies, especially in rural areas where death of infants linked to defects is the highest. In Chennai with Zoya Thomas, Nithala, NDTV Hindu.
Time for us to slip into a very short break. More news coming up. Stay with us.